Welcome back everyone. It's been a really long time since the last update. Unfortunately, I've been moving house and also it took 3 weeks or even more for the internet company to connect our internet. So I've been off internet for quite a long time. However, I've been working really hard on Ultra Rodent, getting a lot done. A lot of the background stuff that you cannot show in videos, such as the exterior nav meshing, is now complete. And it's tested. I've tested it with Mercurio, and we ran around the whole town numerous times. There's no deleted nav meshes. I also tested out the alleyways with Mercurio because someone brought up a very pertinent point that could you get down these really narrow alleyways with your follower? Would there be an issue there? And I found out no, it's fine. There was one alley where I went down the alley and needed to get back but couldn't get past Mercurio, but I basically bumped into him and he moved out of the way. So only that slight issue there in that one super narrow alley, but other than that seems to be fine. So today I'll show you a couple of the things I've been doing, and I'd like to start with the new shop that's arrived in Ultra Rodent. I've been debating for a very long time. I just couldn't come up with what shop really needed to be added because it seemed that everything had been covered. You've got your general store, your clothes, your armor, your weapons, your alchemy, your fence shop down in Lower Street, and I couldn't for the life of me figure out what to do. But finally I came up with something that I think is pretty underrepresented in Skyrim. And well, there's one shop in Solitude that's supposed to be about this, but it doesn't really say this is that type of shop. And I figured this particular thing could do with a very exclusive shop dedicated to it. So I would like to show you the newest shop in Ultra Rodent. Right over here is the Straight Arrow. Immediately, I'm sure you can tell it's an archery shop, and you might think, oh, cliche name, yes, but I wanted something that very definitely said archery shop. So let's head on in and take a look. It's a very unique shop, and I debated for a very long time how to display the wares, and as you can see, I've come up with a variation with the display cases and created hanging wall display cases. And you can see in there a good look at the bows. You don't really get to see these things really close up in game. You buy them through the text option in the game, unless you really look at one that's in front of you or in your inventory. You don't really get to see these things close up. So I thought it'd be really nice to have displays of all the bows and their arrows and quivers so you can actually see them properly. And you probably noticed that these display cases can be opened, but as you can see, you need a key, and I've done it like that. So it's really important to make sure these bows, which as you can see, the dwarven bow, the glass bow, that's an elven bow. Right round the back here we've got an ebony bow. These are really high level expensive bows, and I don't want lower level characters having access to them. So these display cases are openable and stealable. I'll show you exactly what happens when you do. Let's go over here to this. Let's try this Nord bow over here. Oh, you can also see on the walls you have all the static displays. So this is very definitely an archery shop, and the owner is, as you will see, a very experienced archer. So you require a key in order to get in here. The key is not easily accessible. I don't want lower level characters coming in and getting their hands on an ebony bow. So that's why I didn't make it lock pickable. And let's see here. Yeah. So I made actually the arrows static. The bows you can steal. So that's quite a haul for a thief, but not a low-level thief. You have to be able to find the key, steal the key, and then you've got yourself a pretty good haul of bows and arrows, but not if you're low level. So we have more displays here. I wanted to display everything. I wanted this to be a really good, clear archery shop, not just the odd bow here or there. And this guy, Trenius, owns the shop. Now, he was an Imperial archer during the Great War. He fought with the Legion, and he was one of the first into the Imperial city after they recaptured it from the Aldmeri Dominion. And of course, during the time it was occupied, there was a lot of atrocities committed, and this guy and his fellow soldiers were basically pretty much the first on the scene after the city was recaptured, so they saw the worst of it, and he will tell you once he's voice acted, and also in his journal, of his experiences and what he saw. But basically what happened is he left left Cyrodiil after the Great War and came to Skyrim because there wasn't all these memories of those atrocities and so forth. He was a young guy back then. He's 50-ish now. But he is a very good archer. He wasn't the best, but he was one of the best, you know. And he actually... Oh, I just wanted to show you here. I'm a level 1. This is a testing character, and he will sell you, of course, only leveled items. He's not voice acted yet, so... Yep. Level 1, that's all you get access to. And of course, as your levels increase, you're going to have access to much better equipment. And I've also used the bows that are available in the Dragonborn expansion, the Nordic bow and the Stalrim bow, as you can see right here. So Trenius actually lives in this upper level here. Just a small area. I've had to get creative once again with the layout, as is the case in all the homes. And he has his special bow in here. It's a named bow. It was the bow that he went through the Great War with. And he's got a tale to tell in his journal about him, his bow, and everything that happened to him during the war. So that is Trenius and the Straight Arrow, the newest Old Herolden shop. I'd like to take you just down here. Oh, you can see. I'm quite proud of the sign. Just down here, right into Privy Square, because somebody has finally arrived in the town. So head into Privy Square. I've done a lot of interiors. It's really coming along. There's a few more interiors to do, a few more characters to voice, some scripting, and the odd things to do, to some scenes to create to pull it all together. So it is getting close, and which is good because Fallout 4's out in less than a month. So it's right now it's shift butt and get this place done and out and get it done properly, of course. The twins have arrived, and we saw the twins' house in the very first update video, but they have finally arrived, and I thought I'd have a little fun with you all with these twins. Taking up residence in their house, and you can probably see they're wearing exactly the same items, but they are physically exactly the same, and they dress the same. They're identical twins, and they have the same voice actor, but they have different dialogue, of course. But there is a key difference. There is one way to tell them apart. As you can see, I named them Twin, each one Twin, and you'll see them about the town. But I want to have a little fun with you all and have them not go by their names Talara and Janara, which are their names, but there is one way to tell which twin is which. And let's see if we can get a stop cooking. One way to tell which is which. There is one difference between these two, and if you can spot it, Brilliant. Let me know in the comments if you can spot it, because I'd really like to know if it's obvious or too hidden. So let's talk to Talara. This is Talara.
I am Talara, twin sister to Janara. We recently moved here from Windhelm.
So you can ask her how the Dunmer treated in Windhelm.
A terrible place to be at Dunmer. The Nords despise us, and the Jarl treats us very unfairly, simply because we're elves. Our only option was to leave and escape the injustice.
So she has a very definite opinion on Windhelm, and I want to take you over to
Goodbye.
Janara and get her opinion. Stop cooking.
Hello.
Stop cooking, Janara.
I am Janara, twin sister of Talara. We just arrived from Windhelm.
And again, how the Dunmer treated.
Windhelm's not an easy place to live, if you're a Dunmer. But I think that's mostly our fault, as my brethren separate themselves off, refusing to put in the effort needed to be accepted as part of the community and earn the respect of the Nords.
So as you can see,
Stay safe.
the twins, they have the same voice, the same physical features. Hey, get back here. Oi, Janara. Come here. Thank you. Right, so now you can see Janara, and this is where you may be able to spot one thing that makes them stand out from each other, and if you do, please let me know. So they're twins, but like most twins, they have very different opinions. Janara thinks that the Dunmer don't put enough effort into being accepted in Windhelm, and Talara thinks that the Dunmer are victimized in Windhelm. So let's just see a little more of Janara's dialogue.
Everyone here gets along well, regardless of race. That's because the mayor believes in the equality of all races. Ulfric Stormcloak could learn a thing or two about leadership from that man. I really like the town. The people are friendly. Except for that Ravina in the clothing stores. She's so mean that she can make Rolf Stonefist cry. Nasdrin convinced us to come here, and I am very grateful to him. Our lives are much better here. Nasdrin has many portraits of Morrowind in his home. It makes me very curious about my ancestral homeland when I see them. My sister and I were born and raised in Windhelm and have never been to Morrowind.
Okay, I'll let you find out the rest in game.
Stay safe.
They have very different attitudes, I think. Okay, so Talara, stop eating.
Hello.
Talk to me.
It has taken some time to get used to being treated as equals by the Nords in this town after living for so long in Windhelm. We make a fair living making rugs, which we send to merchants in Whiterun and Solitude. Nasdrin really wants to see a Silt Strider again. I've never seen one myself, but he tells me it's part of my heritage, and that Silt Striders are in the blood of all Dunmer. I am Talara, twin sister to Janara. A terrible place. The Nords, our only option was to leave and escape the injustice.
Okay, so looking at her and you've looked at the other one, the difference between the two is obvious. It's not what they say. There is a definite difference in their appearance that once you know what it is, you can tell them apart, which is probably a good thing.
Farewell.
So, there are the twins. They have finally arrived in Old Heroden, and that is it for this update. Like I said earlier, things are storming along. Thinking maybe one more update before release. Not 100% certain on that. The town's really coming together. The characters are flooding in, and things are just looking really great right now. So I'm really looking forward to release, and working really hard on it because very little time till Fallout 4. So that's it for this update, and I should be back with another update next week. Thanks for watching. See you later.